Hey everyone, here is the boss fight, the green monster of the swamp in Lies of P. This is a two-phase fight located in the Barren Swamp Nest after the Barren Swamp. The first phase is called the green monster of the swamp, and the second phase is called the puppet devouring green monster, which you reach once you beat the boss about half of its health. This boss actually has good ties in with the actual story of Pinocchio, where it's based off the Green Fisherman, which is an ogre that actually tries to eat Pinocchio in the story itself, only to be saved by Alidoro. The recommended items to use for this fight, or the weapons, is the bone cutting saw. I did use the puppet ripper for this fight as I just enjoy how it plays. You can also use the electric blitz abrasive, throwing cells, and attribute resistant ampoule to fight the disease. This boss fight is weak to electric, especially in that second phase whenever it takes over the puppet itself. If you need to update as well, you can use the P organ for the link dodge ability, as it is beneficial. So this boss only has a few attacks that they like to use. The first one is a backhand floor swipe, which they make a backhand attack. You can either block the attack or back up and dodge. They also use a decay swipe, which they fling its arm and inflicts decay upon you. As the monster raises its hand, you can get ready to react to that. They barrel underground for an underground attack. You have to watch the path of the monster and move out of the way before its attack. If you use the Spectre, sometimes the Spectre will get aggroed with this attack, which is pretty beneficial because it means you can get some strikes in right away. They also do a smash attack, which they raise both hands into the air onto the ground. You can either run out of the range of it or just dodge behind the monster itself. They also do an antenna whip, which they can whip out their antenna to inflict decay. This is a fast moving attack, so it's kind of hard to parry these, so I just would recommend putting up your block and it will help avoid the decay. And then finally they do a charge attack, which they will charge forward and trample any beings in its way. You can run out of the path as soon as it begins because it will not be able to change directions. If you do perfect parry this ability though, it will stop the charge altogether, which will allow you to get some strikes in. So other than using the necessary strategies to deal with the attacks, they do have the green monster, I suppose, has a few open opportunities to strike. Once in a while they will let out a screech that will allow you to approach and aggressively attack. Most of the attacks though are pretty similar because they do involve its hands. You just need to note whether they're opening up one hand or two hands, putting them up above their head. A lot of the attacks are swiping and sweeping attacks, so whenever you do have the Spectre summoned, it might make it a little bit more difficult because it's going to hit both you and the Spectre for the most part. Whenever the monster does inflict decay, I would always make sure to watch out to make sure your decay is being covered. I know decay did kill me a couple of times there while I was fighting them. If you keep your distance, they will charge and proceed to trample you if you don't get out of the way. One strategy you could do is that you could keep your distance and let them charge, get your hits in, and then run away to prompt out a charge attack again, which would be a smart idea. And then after you get through the first phase, you will then happen to go across the puppet devouring monster. Whenever you do get into the second phase, you can share pretty much the exact same strategy as you did in the past for this fight. It does use relatively the exact same attacks, except it still moves a little bit quicker, but it will rely more on its punch and clawing attacks for the most time. You can watch out for any wind-up indication from the boss itself. I would recommend trying to play aggressively whenever you are in range of the attack and block as it raises its arms. You should be able to knock it down pretty easy. The poise of this boss is relatively low, which will allow you to get some of the big shots in, and then after a few attempts you should be able to get this boss down easy peasy. The two items you get from actually beating this boss are the puppet devouring green hunter's ergo, which can either be cracked for 10,000 ergo, or it could be given to Aladorio to give one of the best weapons in the game, the 2-dragon sword or the ghost walk amulet. If you were to choose one of these, I would definitely take the 2-dragon sword, as the charge attack or the strong attack does have a parry built in. And the second item is the golden ergo, which can actually be given to Vanini, as it is a recollection item in Lies of P. And just like that, the boss should be dead, easy peasy, and then you shall go on to the next area. Until next time.